What's up, guys? We're taking a look at some more NBA player props today over on PrizePicks. We are on a massive run right now, plus 16.4 units in the last 5 days alone. Let's go ahead and hop in. This video applies to PrizePicks, but also sportsbooks and other player prop sites out there. And let's dive in to today's video and hopefully hit some player prop. If you're interested in joining PrizePicks or don't know what it is, check it out. The link is down in my description below, and using code DOMG gets you a 100% deposit match up to $100. And right now is one of the best times to join because every Friday we have a Flex Friday, and today your first Flex entry up to $20 is actually refunded if it does lose. So first Flex entry placed after 10:30 today is protected up to $20. So really good deal over right now on PrizePicks. So if you want to join again, use code DOMG. Link is in my description. 18 years and older, available in most states. But let's hop into today's video. 10 games, massive slate. I'm really excited about how today is going. But if you want to see everything that I'm playing tonight, the link for my Patreon is down in my description below. There's 4 different tiers. You can see everything that I'm playing tonight. There's over 500 members in my Patreon, so I got a good community going. My plays are ranked by confidence level along to go with write-ups for my main plays, and there's 4 different tiers with different pricing options for whatever you want to take a look at. So if you want to check it out, the link is down in my description below. MLB is coming to the Patreon. Really excited to take a look at that. But the last 5 days, here are the stats for the Patreon. Plus 0.47 units, plus 6.42 units, plus 3.79, 4.52, and then also 1.2 units right there. So firstly, what I've done, and all my plays are again posted over on my Patreon. So if you want to check it out, the link is down in my description below. A bunch of different tiers, things like that. But let's dive in and take a look at these player props today. Just make sure you subscribe and have those post notifications on so you do not miss future videos. And I think that pretty much covers everything. Just make sure you tail at your own risk and always do your own research. Let's hop in, play at your own risk, all that different stuff. But let's dive in. Take a look first at a first half prop. The second prop will not be a first half prop, but this is like a PrizePicks exclusive. However, if you are on a sports book or another player prop site that does not offer first half player props, I'll be giving you an alternative to this prop right here. So let's take a look here. So this is the NBA first half category. One of the best reasons to join PrizePicks, by the way, is this NBA first half category. So much value in this board, I'm telling you. I think my last 4 plays have been in the first half that I've given you guys. So anyways, with the first half PR right here, we're going to go ahead and scroll down to the Hawks game here. And I like Clint Capela over 11.5 first half PRA for a couple different reasons. I love the spot for Clint Capela. If you are in a sportsbook or another player prop site, I like his points plus rebounds over. I also like his PRA over 23.5. I think 24.5 is also pretty solid, but his points plus rebounds works for me as well. So, but I also like his PRA here for the first half. Of course, that's going to be my main play. So let's go ahead and talk about this real quick. So he's going to be at home going against Portland at 7:30 today, Eastern time. 6.5 point spread with a 240 over under. But let's take a look at his hit rate and things like that. So with his hit rate here, you can see that he's actually over this in 61% of games this season. He's over in 61% in 7 of his last 10 games. 7 of his last 10 and 61% this season. He also already faced Portland this season and dropped 14 on them. He's actually been over this in every game against them since 2021 right here. So just faced them in January, almost February. It was January 30th, but 14 PRA in that game with 14 minutes. I think he can do the same thing really this time around. And by the way, he shot 2 for 8 in that game. He shot only 25%, had 8 field goal attempts, and still went over his PRA pretty much with flying coverage. He went over it by 2 right there. Still no Nurkic, by the way, for Portland. They're still without Nurkic and Winslow. They have Eubanks and Grant locking it down, and they have not been very good, and let me show you that. So the center and how they've been matching them against Portland, they're actually allowing the most points per game to the center this season. Rebounds, they're kind of right in the middle of the pack when it comes to the rebounds. You can see they're allowing 14.68 per game. When it comes to assists, Capela is not really going to get too many assists, I don't think, but they rank 5th when it comes to assists allowed per game this season. If you take a look at the last 7 games and what they're allowing, kind of mixing in without Nurkic and things like that, they are allowing the 5th most points per game. When it comes to rebounds, they're actually allowing a little bit more. You can see they're a little bit more towards the top, allowing 16.94 rebounds per game right there. And when it comes to the assists, they're actually allowing the 3rd most at 5.58 assists per game allowed to the center in the last 7 games. So Portland has been a very, very good matchup for the center. Capela's already been over against them this season, and that was shooting 25%, by the way, 2 for 8. So I like the spot for Capela. I think he's going to grab a lot of rebounds. Potentially, he'll get a little bit of assists. You can see he's either getting like 2 assists or 0 assists. Last time he actually got 2 assists against this Portland Trailblazers team, but I think he can get this one done with or without assists, and maybe even shooting 25% again. He possibly goes over this. So I like the spot for Clint Capela tonight, and let's dive in though to player prop number 2. That's pretty much a simple breakdown right there. I love the hit rate with how he's been in the first half. Again, 61%, 7 out of 10 of his last 10, and also 14 last matchup. Now let's take a look at Clint Capela on the DGF Optimizers. If you want to check this out, the link is down in my description below, and the link for these DGF Optimizers gets you $5 off. So this is the #1 tool that I use for researching player props. Even even before I was affiliated with them, I had this player prop tool and I used it every day. So I was really excited to affiliate with them. But take a look at Clint Capela here. You can see what he's at. So his full game PRA is on the prizepicks board at 23.5. You can see he's at -160 on Pinnacle, -120 on MGM, and DGF likes his full game PRA to go over at a 53.47%. So they are liking his PRA right there. They also have fantasy score projections, by the way, now, and what they think that like MGM would have for a line of like fantasy score if they did offer that. So we'll take a look at that for player prop number 2, because we're actually going to stay in the full game category here, but go over to the fantasy score. I know fantasy score is not on sports books. It is on certain player prop sites. I do know that, but I will be giving you an alternative for this one as well. And this is my train right now, man. I absolutely love this spot for Mark Williams. Mark Williams over 30.5 PRA. I know it's a household name. Everybody knows who Mark Williams is, but let's dive in though and talk about Mark Williams a little bit here, who's averaging 33.3 in his last 5 games. So let's take a look at his projection right here. If you go over to the prizepicks optimizer, they have also, by the way, they have this for like sports books and other optimizers and things like that for other sites. But we're gonna take a look at the NBA prizepicks fantasy score and see where they like Mark Williams at here. So Mark Williams, they'll see what he's at like compared to like sports books. So if you go ahead and type in Mark Williams, we can see where he comes up here. So the difference, not that big of a difference. They're liking him at about a 29.8, so there is a small difference. He is somewhat favored under of this, but I do like his over, and let me explain why that is. So PJ Washington is doubtful in this game. PJ Washington will probably not play in this game, so that is a huge boost for Mark Williams. He's going to be playing with Thor instead of PJ Washington, so it should result in more minutes for Mark Williams, and also he should be getting a little bit more work. 3.5 point spread right here against Orlando, and a 227 over-under on top of him being at home going against Orlando. So let's take a look at Mark Williams here and how he's actually been this season. You can see that he's consistently been playing pretty much 28 plus minutes in these games. He didn't have those many minutes against Minnesota. He actually had 19.7 fantasy score in 17 minutes. By the way, you want to take a look when it comes to prizepicks fantasy score. You want to take a look at the FD tab right here for FanDuel. They use FanDuel scoring for their fantasy score. So you can see though, when you go to the minutes category right here, that he's been consistently playing about 28 plus minutes, and especially in his last 3 games. I think I played him in maybe all 3 of those games actually. But Mark Williams, when it comes to his fantasy score right here with 28 plus minutes, you can see that he's actually over this fantasy score in all 6 of those games with 31 plus. He needs about 31 this time around as well. He's been over this in tough matchups against like Boston, Miami. He had 47 fantasy score against Miami and Bam Adebayo. That's a really, really tough thing to do. He's been over against the Pistons, the Suns, and like just kind of teams like that. And today he's facing Orlando, and Orlando is going to be a little bit of a tougher matchup, I will say. When it comes to like fantasy score, they're kind of right in the middle of the pack this season, allowing 53.25 points per game, fantasy score points per game to the center. If you take a look at the last 7 games though on where they actually rank, they are a little bit lower. You can see they're actually allowing the 7th least amount of fantasy score points per game in the last 7. However, you also have teams like Boston down here who he's already played and actually already went over against with like 31.4. So I like the spot a lot for him. He should be seeing these 28 plus minutes as PJ Washington is steadily or consistently being doubtful and not playing. So I like the spot for Mark Williams. I think he goes over his fantasy score yet again. So he's been kind of my train man. I've definitely played him the last 2 games, I'm pretty sure. He was at 29 fantasy score last game, I think it was. He had 31 in that game. So Mark Williams, he has been my guy. I forgot to mention this, I think, a little bit earlier, but if you are on a sportsbook or another player prop site, I like Mark Williams' PRA over. I think he's at 22.5. I like his PRA over of 22.5 and also his points plus rebounds over as well. So I like both those spots for him, but I also like his fantasy score. That is personally what I'm running on prizepicks is the over 30.5 fantasy score. So I really do like the spot for both of these guys today. I got Clint Capela over 11.5 first half PRA and Mark Williams over 30.5 full game fantasy score. So those are my 2 plays for you guys. 3-in-1 run in these videos. If you want to join my Patreon, plus 16.4 units I am in just the last 5 days alone. All my plays are over there over my Patreon. Everything that I do play tonight. So if you want to check that out, link is down in my description below. If you want to join prizepicks, link is down there as well. And also if you want to check out these DGF Optimizers, link is down there as well. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Best of luck tonight. Taylor's from Risk, all that different stuff. But hopefully you guys cash out tonight. See you guys in the next one.